Hi everyone, delonewolf here. Welcome back to the Sunday recap, my weekly vlog where I talk a little bit about my last week in games. As always, we'll start with EVE Online, and I think I actually managed to play around an average amount of EVE Online. Despite all the patch problems that we've been experiencing, I have been running a decent amount of sites from the hunt, and I'm actually enjoying that quite a lot. I'm doing that in the Onyx, which already has some really good base resistances for these pirates, but I've really upped that up to 96% resistance, and basically you're at completely no threat in these sites. They can't break 80%. I haven't gone lower than 80% while I was tackling the final battleship, which at the moment is a little bit bugged, but it's a great bug for us because there's two battleships that spawn at the end, so that's double loot. Not only do you get more rewards for the efforts that you're putting in, on top of that, this makes it a lot easier to decide to go in these sites with two players, because you can easily balance the loot that way. I'll take the first battleship and then my brother, for instance, takes the second battleship. So I actually think that this is pretty damn interesting in and of itself, so that it doesn't just foster competition, but that it can also foster a little bit of cooperation between the players. So nice bug that I actually think might open up some interesting developments for later on. Next to that, I also kept up with the blueprint copy business. Of course, I am now running a little bit of a different pattern with the time that I'm spending in World of Warcraft. I don't like to go to Jita several times a week, so I am trying to get all of that done on one trip a week, and I'm also setting my blueprint copy jobs up so that I can pick them up just once a week, move everything to Jita, grab the ISK there for these for those blueprint copies, and I think that will actually work out decently well, because I have also experienced quite often when I was really active in EVE Online and I went 4 or 5 times in a week to Jita to restock all the BPCs, I would actually start to drag the price down because of all the supply that I was bringing in here. So if I give it a week where just other players have to bring in the supply, I'll easily notice the ones that are not supplied enough for the market, and then I'll be able to plug those gaps and actually get more ISK out of it that way. Did a little bit of PI, just the maintenance stuff, and at the moment I am eagerly awaiting any information on the future development. I mean, it can't take that long anymore. In about 3 weeks we'll have FanFest, and so between then and now we should get some information on the future plans for EVE Online. So I'm really curious about all of that, and definitely keeping a regular eye on Twitter, on the articles website, and Reddit of course as well, where everything will be posted right away. So let's hope that we get some nice stuff when it comes to EVE Online there. Next up, we have a little bit of Hearthstone. So for Hearthstone, that is something that I actually enjoy like late in the evening when I feel a little bit drained, maybe from doing a few extra battlegrounds in World of Warcraft or running some extra sites in EVE Online, and then it's a little bit too early to go to sleep. So what do? I run a quick dungeon run in Hearthstone. I find this to be a very enjoyable mode in Hearthstone, and what I'm personally looking for at the moment is to build some exotic types of decks from these dungeon runs. So what I've been finding out is that the double battle cry is really powerful. I've been using that on several different decks, and it's actually been a lot of fun to play, and went very far for the druid, for instance, for the shaman as well, but now for the hunter I've done one, and that's been very interesting. I'm quite surprised at how powerful the double battle cry can sometimes be. I'm still looking to make one with the double death rattle working, and that's a little bit trickier to do because I guess you somehow need to get that early board control, but there's not that many death rattles that will actually create more spawns. So it's a little bit tricky to actually get that to work, but there might be some other cool combinations. I've also been trying to do a couple Setoons and a couple more Jade builds there. It's very RNG, so sometimes it just doesn't work out, but when it does, it's a lot of fun to be at turn 3 and to have a 6/6 Jade spawn and things like that. So yeah, Hearthstone, I absolutely do enjoy that. At the moment though, I'm just doing something where I don't have to worry about other players, I don't have to worry about specific deck builds or anything like that. It's just RNG against the PC in the dungeon runs. What I might do at some point or some arenas. I have some gold for that, but I'm not sure. It really all depends on the time that I'll have to spend more time in Hearthstone or in other stuff, which I still want to do as well. Next up, of course, we have the World of Warcraft. Yeah, definitely a good amount of World of Warcraft. A little bit less in the first part of the week there, because my character is now getting close to 900 gear score. I've been looking up some of the other stuff that I still want to do, like get flying, for instance. I think that could be worth the investment, because it does make you a lot more efficient and freer to explore all of those worlds at the moment, but it's pretty decent grind. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that. I'm also looking at my professions. I'm working really hard on those. It's engineering and alchemy, which I've got into the 700 plus region, so I do feel pretty good about that. But now I'm also working on my cooking, on my fishing, so that's what I'm doing at the moment, just doing some battlegrounds for fun. From time to time you get a nice piece of gear there, and then I'm spending a lot of time just, you know, trying to earn some gold, buy some goods, cheap goods from the auction house, and then just get my my profession skills up. And other than that, I just roam around the world a little bit, do some world quests here and there, but I don't have too many specific goals here, so I don't feel that pressure to spend a lot of time in World of Warcraft. And that's actually opened up a couple of Hearthstone games and also some Diablo, which is the next game that I'll talk about. But yeah, for World of Warcraft, I feel like it's still fun. I can definitely play the game every single day, but I've also come to the point where I don't feel the need to do any massive grinds anymore. You know, if BFA would come out tomorrow, I'd actually be absolutely fine to get started on that with my shaman. So now it's just, you know, get a nice little routine that I enjoy, work on some goals that I find realistic but don't take too much time, and I feel really good about managing to get to that point here, because it will open up the option for me to check out some other games, which I absolutely do still want to do. Which is why I actually have a fourth game this week. I also spent a little bit more time on my barbarian in Diablo 3. So that is the latest season. This is the character that I had chosen, and there is still one thing that I want for him. That is the boots that give him 3 leaps, because it is like a leap quake build, I think. So every time you use leap, you actually have an earthquake that is created on the landing spot. And of course, having those 3 jumps would be really amazing. I mean, it's a very specific boot that I need, and I feel like my character is actually decently powerful already, but that would basically finish off that build for me. And I've spent a little bit of extra time in Diablo 3 just running some of the rifts there. I think are they rifts, greater rifts? I think they're rifts and greater rifts. Just trying to get those boots, getting some small upgrades here and there. It's a very, very fun build, I have to say. If you're looking for the fast way of completing this season, the barbarian is absolutely it, because you can go with Furious Charge and Leap. Combine those two gives you extreme mobility, and it's really allowed me to, for instance, get to the bounty place very quickly, or get through those rifts very quickly as well. So that's really something that has amazed me. I always thought, you know, something like the wizard, you know, really go glass cannony so that you can rush through everything pretty efficiently, is probably the fastest. But no, I think that this barbarian was actually my fastest finish for the season itself, getting the 6 pieces of the set, and it's been very, very enjoyable. I was actually a little bit surprised by that as well. I usually want to feel the action a little bit more, where, you know, you use something like whirlwind or something like that, or a strong ability from a wizard or something like that. But nope, here it's all about the mobility, and you just leave behind those big patches of DPS where you just crush everything that you've aggroed. It's definitely a very fun playstyle as well, and I'm still going to put that effort in. I want those boots for the barbarian, but then I do feel like he'll be finished, and I think after that I'll look into some other games to give a go. That's it for this week, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.
Have blessed me